Hello, I'm that dude with the beard, and today I am joined by my Skullbasher to review a comic book. What comic book, you might ask? It's simple. Tales of the Seashell. What, you thought it was something big named like Superman or Batman or Spider-Man? Hell no. I go for the obscure titles, people. Or the comics have been shoved down my throat. Either way.
And of course, the first thing we see is the cover.
It does look pretty good, actually. The coloration, the character looks really good, the background looks kind of nice. I actually really think this cover has a lot going for it. Does that mean it's good? Yeah. So, let's open up this book.
The first page starts off with a relatively long-winded exposition.
For as long as I could remember, I had been told the story of the Great Goblin War. Thousands of citizens of Terra Bellezza lost their lives in the name of peace. Amongst the victims was my great-grandfather, Thresh Murex, the king of Terra Bellezza, who gave his very life to rend off this goblin army. The war lasted for over 50 years.
Seriously? 50 years? There shouldn't be anyone left to live in this stupid castle. Anyway.
Now, it's just a story the locals like to share with their own take on what really happened. Back then, after my father became king, there was a treaty signed between our people and the goblins. Decades have passed without so much as an argument between the two races. For the first time in 100 years, Terra Bellezza experienced peace.
A moron, wake up.
Sorry. So yeah, this book opens up with lots of exposition. Wonderful. Set the standby.
We open to the next page, and we see chirping. And her crying. And wait, what the fuck is that?
This actually does seem like a bad moment for the writer, but in all reality, if you think about it, it's actually quite ingenious. Because it makes you think, if the door is opening, the king is staying open, or the guy off panel is staying open. Either way, this really makes you get thinking. Or it's just fucking lazy writing. But, you know.
Yeah, what's wrong?
I miss her, Dad. I miss her so much.
I do too. Not a day goes by where I don't miss your mother.
Of course, it's the Disney princess disease. There's no other way this could have happened. Well, unless the writer kind of, didn't feel like writing another character and decided to go with the most basic plot line you could get since, the Little Mermaid, the Black Cauldron, Aladdin, Snow White, Secret of Nim. Don't worry, it'll make more sense when I get to the Secret of Nim part. Oh, it will.
And of course, as he's leaving the room, one of his men come out and say, Your Highness, you have been requested in the throne room, my lord. What is it, Marcus? What's going on? It's Jake, sir. He has returned from his assignment. He has been brutally wounded. And of course, this is really nothing important since he's just been beaten badly by his goblins. And the most important thing to him right now is not the fact his best warrior was beaten by goblins. No, it's his daughter's birthday.
So let me get this straight. Your king sees one of your best warriors down on the ground going, I'm dying, sort of. And he's like, Nay, my daughter's birthday is far more important than you are dying. Take him away. I shall prepare the sacred seashells for her womanlyhood. You see what I mean when I said Secret of Nim? She's getting that secret magical spell thingy. And one for the Skullbasher for plot convenience. Ow.
And in the final page of this epic story, we see a giant group of goblins and a floating woman, who mysteriously looks like the girl from Adventure Time.
I'm noticing something. Those goblins don't have any sort of long-range weapons. They're all carrying clubs. So in all reality, they might not even make it into the goddamn castle. I mean, think of this for a second. If you arm all of your troops with melee weapons, and you stand them outside, what are they doing? They're doing this. Raw, let's kill them, we're goblins. Arr. And then there's the guys on top of the freaking walls going, 1, 2, 3, oh wait, 4, 5. This is getting a lot of boring. You know what you do? Get a rock. Oh. Seriously, this is just stupid. Who wrote this? Oh. That was the first issue. Was it bad? Meh. It's just setting up to a bigger and larger storyline. And hopefully we'll get better as time goes on.
So we continue with the second comic, and it starts with, "What do you mean, goblins? There are goblins! There are goblins coming this way! My lord! Hundreds of them! It's an army, my lord!" Jesus Christ, how many times do you have to say, my lord? "They're heading to Terra Belissa, my lord. What are your orders, sir?" Good God, he looks flabbergasted at this realization that there might be an army coming at him.
You are a king. You shouldn't be doing whatever the fuck you're doing. You should be raising the drawbridge, getting men at the positions up front, the back, and the sides, preparing for flanking maneuvers. But no, you're too busy just sitting there going...
So Jake yells at the others, "Alec, inform the others. Tell them to suit up and prepare for war. Marcus, you come with me." Ah, Jesus Christ. And they make the same goddamn look together. And, wait, where the fuck are they standing? Wait, are they standing on the damn drawbridge?
Guys, you're standing on the drawbridge. I hate to tell you this, but it's an easy solution. I mean, they don't seem to have anything else other than melee weapons. Just raise the drawbridge, take your king, and slap the fuck out of him. Because the writer doesn't seem to care about his dialogue anymore.
And then we get an epic panel of, "We prepare to fight to the death if we have to." Oh, for the love of God, when you make a turn sound, does it make a turn sound or does your hair shuffle? Anyway, we see another picture of the goblins marching toward them in the same goddamn things. Whatever. Anyway, I'm just skipping the next part just to show you the fucking villain. And here is our villain. Anja. Yep. This really freaking busty woman is our villain. Great.
Why is our villain a busty female character? I mean, I'm not intimidated by that. What?
And of course the comic, oh my god, what happened to her clothes? And we start off this comic, just like the first, with a large amount of exposition. So, what am I going to do? Simple. I'm just gonna read it to you. In a very whiny voice.
It's been 3 days since the invasion of Terra Belissa, and since that frightful day, Jake and I have been taking refuge in the Forest of Shadows. As a child, I heard many stories from local villagers and wanderers alike that this Forest of Shadows was haunted. They said it was haunted by roaming souls of those who died in the Great Goblin War. They roamed the forest, searching for a purpose, looking for a way to
Looking for a way. A way is spelled A space way, not away, as if they're going somewhere.
to pass over the other realm. Ever since that day of the invasion, I spend every waking moment thinking of the ones I love who stayed behind to defend our kingdom. I wonder what has happened. Were they able to fight off the enemy? Were they overrun? Am I ever going to see my father again? Or did I lose him? Just as I lost my mother. Am I all alone?
Grow up. So, we get to see them talking again. And this time, we have the amazing dialogue. And what is it? Oh, God, I wish I hadn't read this. How are you doing?
I don't like it here, Jake. I just can't shake this feeling that I'm being watched.
I know the feeling, but this is the safest place for us to hide right now. We'll stay for just a few more days, and then we'll move on.
Move on? To where? Where are we going to go? Tell me, Jake, where?
Telka.
Huh. If Terra means land of beauty, then Telka must mean... Insert generic fucking village name here.
Telka?
It's kind of a small rundown village of the north of here. So it's exactly like everything else in Monster Hunter. Your father sent me there when your mother's condition worsened. There's this old hermit that lives there by the name of Abraham. He had many sons. I guess he was close friends with your dad. Damn it, I'm stripping over my words again.
I don't remember Dad ever mentioning even Ibrahim before.
Apparently he is some sort of shaman, or something, a real master of magic and medicine, and is extremely convenient to the plot. Nikolai sent me to find him. He thought that he could conjure up a cure to save your mother. ...
Dot.
But by the time I arrived in Telka, it was already too late. The word of your mother's passing had already spread throughout the village. The pain of knowing I failed was just too hard to bear. You spelt "too" wrong? Wait, hold on a second. Let's continue on.
So is that what you meant when you said that my father blamed you for my mother's death?
Well, this is fucking Fuck it, let's continue. Yes, I knew I couldn't face your father after what had happened. I felt so ashamed. I was your father's most trusted knight and friend. And I failed him. I failed him when he needed me most. I couldn't bear the thought of facing him so I decided to stay in Telka. You can't be serious.
So why did you come back?
Because of you.
That could have been handled so much better. You could have had her ask Abraham what happened to her mother. All you had to say was, I went to go to the Abraham because he was a medicine man. He was going to help your mother. That would have been it. Would have been fine. But no, the fact that you just put all this on the table, does it make it any more heart-wrenching? No. What it makes it sound like is that you just didn't care. Yeah, it's backstory, but the backstory is just gone because of whatever he says right after that. It's all because of you. I came back because of you. Why? What did he do? Were they friends? Because apparently she doesn't even appreciate him. I don't get the character relationship. All I know is this guy was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
The artwork is really good, especially in the third book. A lot of the detail really shows up here, but in the first book, it's a little wonky. The second book has gotten better, but the third, it's clearly by far the best. With that being said, however, it's the dialogue and the writing that often gets in the way of this book's really good moments. For instance, the whole first part with the exposition isn't bad, but it feels like we've heard the story before, as if there were wars prior to the start of many other stories, and they were having years of peace. It's just kind of basic. As for the second issue, there really is nothing wrong with its exposition. In fact, there's virtually none, which is good. The third, however, it's exposition overdrive. It's a total of 4 boxes that actually pretty much would have been more interesting if we had heard it from somebody explaining or talking about this force, instead of just hearing what she's heard from it. It doesn't make it any more interesting, it just feels like they got it out of the way. And some of the dialogue also feels that way. For instance, in the first few pages of the first book, it's basically just fluff. And then there comes the dialogue with her and him, Aya and Jake. It seems to be more stilted than anything else. The conversation with the mother just seems very, very forced. And overall, it just really didn't need to be here. Again, if you had just saved this for a later comic and made it a bigger reveal, that would have been interesting. But doing it here was just not a good idea.
And you know what? I can review. Because it's my channel. And if I don't like it, oh well, I'm just one person. I mean, all your other reviews are very positive. Despite the fact they're all your friends, Robert. Because, despite what you might think, people will have differing opinions sometimes. Not everyone's going to love your stuff. In fact, the only one that I actually felt that was kind of more or less critical with you was Film Master Adam. And I watched his review. And I have to admit, he's not bad. Because you know what? He was being honest with you. And so am I. And I'm going to say it. Your art, good. The story, I hope it gets better. I really do. Because I'm not interested. Maybe eventually there'll be a wiki that I can read up on. Oh, and by the way, get rid of your merchandise. It's not a good thing you're already making merchandise for a series that hasn't taken off yet. And that do with the beard, and I'm gonna go play some Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds Tag Force 4.